might have seen him, and I'll tell you what, y'all gonna take it. So stay tuned, because we got so many poets on this list. Y'all gonna have like your brains full of like so much poetry. You're gonna go home and write a book. It's gonna be crazy. So give it up one more time, Curtis Acosta, everybody.
Okay, this is like a remix of some older stuff I had, so we'll see how this one goes. One day, old Don Antonio sat down in front of me, lighted up his cigarette. He noticed a small Aztec calendar which adorned my neck. Looking me straight in the eyes, he said, "Hogan, I know why you're here. To find what has been lost." As I stood dumbfounded, I watched the old man form miniature clouds with the tobacco he exhaled. Old Don Antonio then laid back on his hammock, took another drag, and proceeded to tell me the story of the people of the sun. According to legend, a band of nomads heeded a call for change, a call coming from Whistle of Porsley, the hummingbird of the south, who said, "Go south, children of Aslan, and wander until you come across a lake, in the middle of which a snake will lie firmly in the beak of a majestic brown eagle perched upon a cactus growing from a rock. Here, you are to build a new home, a new life, and rename yourselves Mexica." So begins the story of Tenochtitlan, which over time came to be the most beautiful city ever seen by human eyes. Yet underneath such splendor lied an ugly truth. Once Mexica gained power, they would persecute other peoples who looked like them, making enemies of those who were also the color of the earth, forcing them to pay tribute and having taken away their hearts in a literal sense, using human sacrifice to appease their gods. Naturally, smaller nations would be at odds with the Aztec Empire, to the point where as an act of defiance, they would make an unsavory alliance. In the year one read, the return of Quetzalcoatl would prove to be the beginning of the end. Light-skinned, bearded men arrived mysteriously from the sea, speaking a strange language they called Castellano. Their objective? Bring back untold riches and glory for the crown of Spain, and perhaps save as few Indian souls along the way. Now, I won't go into specifics, but much like the sun in the Pacific, the fifth sun would set as well. As Tenochtitlan turned into a living hell, all indigenous peoples would feel the wrath. It's been 500 years after the fact, and once again the children of Aslan are wandering through the wilderness, lost, unable to break cycles of poverty, prison life, and political apathy, forgetting our own history and traditions, and our only ambition is to worship the oppressor, whether it's Cortez or Bush. We curse our own God-given features, thinking that bleach hair and blue contact lens will cleanse us of our sin of being born with too much melanin. When we look in the mirror, all we're seeing is self-hatred and denial, which is much more vile than hating another human being. Don't point fingers at La Malinche. She didn't sell us out. We sold ourselves short. Next time you pray to La Virgen de Guadalupe, remember the so-called Indian savages whose feet were chopped off because they refused to pray the rosary. Remember the Aztec goddess Tonzanin, manipulated by Gachapinas into an image of the Virgin Mary, making it easier to control Gentecín Razón, whose descendants still take orders to this day. Ever wonder why Mexicans always say "mande"? Loosely translated, at your service. A total disservice to who we were and what we are, the people of the color of the earth. Many of our brethren live in El Norte, yet they are not pochos. Their grandfathers were born into revolution, nor are they wetbacks, for their blood has also been shed in Iraq. We are Pancho Villa, picking up a gun and on the run from Blackjack Pershing. We're Emiliano Zapata telling the world, "I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees." Zapata vive y la lucha sigue. Frida Kahlo, Cesar Chavez, Jorge Gonzalez, Marcos, you, me, children of Cuauhtemoc from Aslan de Tenochtitlan, Zapata vive y la lucha sigue. And that's how the Mexican people came to be. Pretend as we might, we're still not free in our way of thinking. Free your way of thinking. And with those final words, old Don Antonio flicked his cigarette butt into the Lacandon jungle night. I stood and thought to myself, everything he said is right. Evolution or extinction.